Okay, happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to Drag Racing Live, where we bench race with the world's top drag racers. And I do mean the world tonight because we've got Joacim Ljungberg with us all the way from Sweden. It's 2 in the morning there, and he's really he's got the coffee ready and he's going to be enjoying this evening with us. Hopefully, he will. Bill Pratt here with John Bachman, my friend, as always. Joacim is one of Europe's most successful pro comp racers who's taken on a new challenge by competing in funny cars here in the United States. So, from racing across Europe to learning the nuances of America's most famous drag racing category, Joacim is going to bring a unique international perspective to the sport tonight. So, Joacim, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Pleasure to be here with you guys.
So great
See
to have you
you.
on. Like,
Yeah.
let's jump right into it. You've built a strong reputation in Europe for pro comp racing, now competing in funny cars in the States. What inspired you to make that jump?
Well, I will say the quality of the racing, and it's pretty hard in Europe if we want to run a funny car because you can only go comp eliminator or go the European series and top alcohol, and we don't have the funds to go around in Europe, and we did comp eliminator for a little while, but it's more fun to run flat out with you guys in the States.
Right, I
Uh,
love it. Well, I know FII has a really strong alcohol program, but it takes a lot of money. You can't just drive. I don't think the distance is that much different, but you have a lot of water you have to travel over. How does that sort of work for those teams?
well, yeah, in our case, we're living south in Sweden, so we are pretty close to Germany, Denmark and Germany, but
Mm.
still we need to take at least one bridge and one ferry to go to UK. And with the cost today, they are talking about just traveling cost for 5 races is 50, 60 grand.
Wow, it's amazing.
So yeah, I can do a lot of damage to myself in US for 50, 60 grand.
That's a good
So
way of looking at it. I did have
yeah,
I had the opportunity to visit one year. I have a friend in Wilhelmshaven up near Bremen in Germany, and we were going to drive
yeah.
up, but it was the worst ice storm in history up to that point, I think. And we were snowbound for like an entire week when I was visiting. So one of
Yeah.
these days
And
I'm getting over there.
yeah, the weather can be pretty rough.
It was
And
it
that
was
I
actually
would
a
say
great.
that's the biggest reason we left is just the journey to do something different. And we plan to do 2 races, and here we are, 22 races later on.
That's amazing. Well, did
So,
you fly here and purchase a machine here, or did you ship your car over? How did that work?
now it's actually a car made for Brad Anderson 1997, and they got the Nitro deal, so they sold the car to Ernst Erbacher in Switzerland,
Okay.
and he drove it very successful in top alcohol, and then Fast Freddy, if you know that name,
Hmm.
famous pro mod guy used it, and Johnny Lindberg used it one year, and I got the car from him,
Oh,
and
fantastic.
we so that has a good journey overall.
That's great. Some great
Um,
names. I didn't know Fast Freddy Fagerstrom actually drove a funny car. That's amazing.
yeah, he did twice, but his kids told him they were going to cut the car up if he get his ass in it again because he needed the pro mod.
Well, he's got that
So yeah,
very famous black and flame Pro Mod truck that he's very popular
yeah,
with. That's amazing.
yeah.
Well, that's great.
It's
You've got a quality piece there, that's for sure.
yeah. The car is more than we need, but who can complain about that? So and Johnny Lindberg got a Frank Mansu chassis and parked this car, and I got it, and we put the Chevy in it and used it for 3 years, I think, back home. And 2017, we went to 5 races, and four was rain out.
Wow, no kidding.
So I was kind of done and talked to my wife about selling the whole operation because it was too much money for just sitting. And we have been going back and forth to Los Angeles since 2020, since 2004, and somehow I got the bright idea to ship it over for 2 races, and never looked back.
That's amazing. What did you start racing? What category did you race? Top alcohol, or were you into one of the series to get started?
Well, actually, I went as a crew guy at a blown funny car in what they call Pro Comp 1990,
Hmm.
and after that, I went to a few different teams as a crew guy, and then 1995, I started my own deal and tried to work myself up. Blown funny car was always my goal. It took me
Hmm.
a little while to do it, but that's the only thing I'm living for today, and that was everything I asked for.
That's
So,
amazing. Well, when you came over and you said 2004, what series did you run when you got here to the States?
oh, I was running comp with my first funny car in Europe, 2004,
Hmm.
and we needed a new chassis. So I went to Gary Burgin Enterprise, and I started to do business with him, and that actually turned out to be a business overall for me. Um, it took me some years to get back in the funny car because I was building my business and family and everything around it. But um, it's been a good journey to go back and forth to the States and do business, and that pays out today because it would be different to ship racing operation first and then try to make the connection. Now I already had quite a bit of connection and friends to help me out.
That's great. So
Um,
do you maintain sort of dual, not dual citizenship, but dual residence, or do you live here for in the States for some number of months and then go back, or how does that work?
um, we live in the motorhome when we are in the States because we don't have enough to buy a property or anything, and it's also really hard for you to get working visa or any kind of visa for do that stuff. So we go
Right.
back and forth, and it's been everything between a few weeks a year to I will say close to 4 months a year. It's
Wow.
all depends how much money I can bring to the table back home.
That's
So
amazing. Well,
that's
we're glad to have you here for as long as we can get you. Um,
well, that sounds good. I mean, it's been a fun journey. I have to say that, and a very interesting journey. And drag racing is fantastic because you can find people wherever you go that you can bond with and have fun with. It doesn't
Right,
matter if it's Europe or it's in the States. It's the same thing.
right. It is a
So
great international family.
it is.
We love it.
It is.
Well,
I mean, you
where do you
most
race when you?
most
Yeah,
cases you can race the guys and you can win, you can lose, and you can still have a drink in the evening with those guys.
right. It
So
is great. It's not, it's and they might even help you fix your car if they're about to race you.
abs absolutely, we have border pieces both in Europe and in US, and never had any issue to it with anything of it. So yeah, it's pretty amazing. It's a good family to know.
Absolutely. Well, I know that our friend Pete Mariello was giving you some hard times as we announced you coming on, and
Yeah, I actually haven't known Pete that long because I met with him and James Marr no, 2018 before we shipped the car because Sifka was my first goal and only make a few races with Sifka and then bring the stuff home. So
Mhm.
I met Pete then, and Jim and James I have done business with over the years, but Pete and I we kind of hooked up right away. But it was a little bit hard for me in the beginning to be fast enough to respond on that guy. But I'm learning.
Yeah, he keeps us all
Yeah,
on our toes, that's for sure.
absolutely. But he's a good guy. I feel fortunate to know him, even if we are going back and forth.
Hmm.
So
It's great.
if
Well, good. Well, you've raced. Let's talk about like some of the thrills you've had. You've raced some incredibly quick cars throughout your career. What's the biggest adrenaline rush you've experienced so far? Was it in Europe? Tell us one about in Europe and one here in America.
well, the faster thing, I mean, there is different ways to see it, but we had a what I call a hat trick back home when we qualified number one. We won the race and we put in a European record. That's kind of a good feeling. It's
Yeah,
maybe not the rush people are talking about, but it was a rush for me. And but people don't realize many times about me is that I do everything on the car. I design, I build the motor, I do the clutch, I do the Lenko. And for me to achieve stuff can be a big thing, and it's just a small thing for people on the outside because they don't know the story behind it.
right.
And the biggest rush for me in the States is probably when we went 390 on the 8th mile in the Bakersfield with a blown Chevy. I don't think there is too many people that have done that. And
Oh,
it was kind of still in one piece too, so we can make another lap on it.
yeah, you can
You,
always, yeah, always have an asterisk for Chevy powered, blown cars,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it stayed in one piece.
But yeah, I mean, there is a different way. I think the journey back and forth through the races is the biggest achieved and the biggest the biggest win,
Right,
because we are able to do so much traveling and see so much stuff. And I actually think that's the biggest thing today. If you take the mechanic side of the racing, just to be able to do that and spend time with family and friends, what can go wrong?
right. That's
So
amazing. So congratulations on, kind of being a one person shop. You're
yeah,
getting it all
I
done. It's
mean,
not unusual.
of course, I have friends that do stuff for me, so don't get me wrong. But the design and what I put together is what kind of my own idea, and that's a half of the race for me.
That's
And
amazing. Yeah, just I know I was just last weekend in Maryland. Lex and Gerda, June were here and racing their fueler.
yeah,
And in my hometown, it's about 20 miles from me. It was
okay,
wonderful to see them, but they were, that's a small crew too. I mean, it seems like all of our European racers come over here with just a few helpers and mostly doing it themselves and
yeah,
always
yeah.
represent very well.
Yeah, but the hard thing, I will say, one of the biggest difference between European and US racing is that we have a lot of people that helps us out for free and with our own money. In my
Right,
case, I don't have the money to pay a team, and I can't bring too many people to the table because we don't have enough.
right,
So it's not like I would like to be more people around it, but we don't have the funds for it. We don't have the space for it. And
right,
it's also hard for us because it's only me that have insurance on the rig. So if we are going from Los Angeles to Mocan, I will do all the driving,
right,
and then we have to deal with the whole racing package, and then go to the next race. And of course, if I get too tired, someone will pull us off the road. But still, there is a lot of things that I need to do, and I think it's pretty sure a lot of people that goes from the outside have a hard time with this stuff to
right.
deal with, like I said, insurance and what's going on and what you need. And it takes a little while to figure that out. And some stuff you just have to do by yourself.
Right. Well, it's
That's how
really
it's set up.
fascinating. I hadn't
Yeah.
considered that, and it was. I'm
No.
glad you mentioned it. Yeah, you would imagine maybe a crew guy could help you drive the rig, but not if you're the only guy
No.
that has insurance on it, right?
Yeah. So I normally try to tell people too if they walk by and I don't pay attention when they try to talk to me. It's not like I'm rude. It's just too much going on. I
Right.
had a Swedish friend walk up in Ennis, and I started to talk English with him because I didn't realize and I didn't look close enough to see it was actually a friend from back home. So that's how screwed up I am during the weekend. But what can you do? We're still trying,
Right.
still
Well,
learning.
you're doing amazing. So you raced SIFCA for a while and California
Yeah,
Funny Car Association. Great
yeah.
company, great folks. Are you with
Great
the Funny
crew.
Car
I mean, a
Chaos
great
series now?
great brand. And
Yeah, the
uh,
mayors are amazing. I've known him since, gosh, the 80s, maybe, I think. Yeah, because I used to do Drag List as a booklet, and Jim would give me a lot of data. I would put all those guys in the booklet way back then, and
Yeah,
Injection Connection
yeah,
was just getting started. Wonderful
yeah.
people. It's funny
They
how you have 40 years of friendship with some of these folks.
Yeah. And I actually looked at Sifka already 2002, 3, 4 when I had my first funny car, but it was so out of the league. Tried to do it back then, and but I mean, I did it later on, so could be worse.
Well,
It's
welcome. Do you
they,
what's the current setup? What's the car drive right now? Do you run in the Chaos series right now?
we haven't done the funny car chaos for a while because we just don't have time to do the big traveling. But we made the Ultra chaos last year in Tucson. I went to the final in Seafield
Awesome.
and had a great outing. I was out of the car for a little while because we blew up too much stuff 3 years ago, and we made Bakersfield with Sivka and dropped a valve on the brand new motor
Hmm.
and rebound for a hot rod reunion 2 weeks after, and we wasn't really ready, and I haven't slept for days, so we didn't do any good. But we bounced back on the Anra race, and then we went to Tucson and went to the final. So overall, it was a pretty good trip.
Heck yeah,
But
amazing. Well,
it's kind of packed schedule for us. The same thing this spring when I went to do Bakersfield and Pomona. I was in the state for 2.5 weeks, and we did 2 races.
hmm,
So gets pretty intense to do it. So,
right.
but
Especially when you're doing all the work and
yeah, I
travel.
mean, like I said, I got help, but a lot of things is on my own plate. So, and I'm fortunate enough lately to have some friends in US to help us out too. So I can kind of leave by myself and go racing and then head back home again.
That's great.
So yeah, it is fun. It's a good journey. And
How do you work between the funny car and the altered right now? Is that the same chassis and you just swap bodies?
yeah, yeah, we swap the bodies. So when we shipped the car, we only had the funny car body, but to be able to do Bakersfield and the nostalgia scene, we needed to do something. So a few friends in Torrance and Gardena around Los Angeles helped me out to use their equipment so we can put the wing and the body on it. And me and my dad stayed 9 weeks in the States the first time when we shipped the car and made all that happen. And that's been pretty good. I didn't like to sit outside because I'm too much funny car guy, but I'm starting to like to sit outside too. So now it doesn't really matter anymore.
That's good.
But it is a bit special to sit in the dark inside a funny car body.
It's different, isn't it? You can actually see some things outside of an altered. You still have to look
Yeah,
around the motor, I guess, but
yeah. It's quite a big difference. So, but it's just me growing up and racing to the goal to be inside a funny car is kind of just feels wrong to leave it. But like I said, it gets more and more fun, and the chaos racing and the top dragster alternative with the ultra is also good. We get a lot more races to go to.
right. That's
So
amazing.
in the end of the year, we are planning to do 4 races, and that will be Bakersfield, Vegas, Tucson, and Pomona, and that will be 2 races in the top dragster, and that's the only thing. I mean, that's a big reason we kept with the ultra style.
Hmm.
And it was actually a friend of mine that told me that you can run top dragster with an ultra. I didn't know about it at the time, so it was. Uh,
It's
uh,
pretty cool. I
um,
don't think a lot of people, with those long, a lot of dragsters, long and low, and it's hard to see them when they're sneaking up on you. It's hard to win with an
yeah.
altered, but it's great. It gives you a place to race. That's awesome.
Absolutely. There is nothing for us to win there because they are too good. They're running automatics and I'm running the clutch, but we can have a lot of fun on races we normally couldn't go to. So I mean,
Right.
we don't have anything to run Pomona, in like top alcohol or anything like that. But the top dragster gives us opportunity to more racing.
Right.
So that's
I'll bet
pretty
you're the
cool.
crowd favorite too.
Yeah, we got some people shouting at us, both good and bad. It was my first time at Pomona. We took some cones out, but
Oh, yeah.
that's a part of the games.
It's an altered. You got to do that. Come
Yeah,
on.
yeah. It is a big difference to run it open or run it with the funny car body. The funny car body is like a Mercedes or something, and the altered is a dune buggy. So yeah, it surprises you a few times.
Right. Well,
But
tell us a little bit about the car. You've mentioned the chassis. What is your current setup? What do you have in the motor? How big is it? And tell us about the
it's an all
transmission.
aluminum. Yeah, it's an all aluminum Chevy, 490 cubic inch with short stroke and big bore. Um, Very small camshaft. What we're trying to do to keep the valve train in one piece, and then 1471 blower on that. It's a 2 disc Titan clutch and a 3-speed Lenko, and yeah, that's kind of what it is. It's not much motor, but it works. The combination is just right.
Right. Well, want to have balance. I think a lot of people don't, and they have bigger parts that cause other parts to break, and it's always the weakest link. And if you can come up
Yeah,
with a consistent package, that's probably the best you can do.
yeah. I know a lot of people don't agree with me, but I learned very early that a flow in the head is from when the valve is leaving the seats and back on the seats. And most of the numbers you will see have very good flows on the high side, but we designed it a little bit different, so we get the pretty good flow in the head, but we don't have the best flow on the big lift. So the complete package is kind of good. The numbers are good, but we can run a very small camshaft with this design, and I have never changed a thing in the valve train
Wow.
except when we revved it to 11.8. It didn't like that when we broke the transmission, but that's another story.
Yeah,
Can't
north of
really blame the
10K.
motor on that one.
Yeah,
So, but
that was a
that's what's happened when you break the transmission on the end of the first gear.
right.
So,
Kind of goes zing.
yep.
Oh,
So that's the reason we were out of the car for almost 2 years. It was too much to patch together right away. But
got it. Well,
we're back, and I've been running Chevy my whole life, but that is going to change. I know you're asking for things that's going to happen. I will tell you about that when we get that far. But we kind
okay.
of we're pretty far away from your schedule you sent me.
Well, those are idea. We got lots and lots to talk about. We're having a great time. And we'll go to John and
Yeah.
here in about 7 minutes and see what folks out there have to say. John is checking the chat line. But let's give us your origin story. What are your earliest memories of drag racing? When did you realize you wanted to compete at a high level? You talked about being wanted to do funny car racing, but take us
Yeah.
back.
Well, from the beginning, my dad had a custom car and body shop when I grew up. So we went to Mantorp Park in Sweden when I was
Hmm.
quite young, but he was more to customizing, and that was what I was doing in the beginning with him. We had some success with some pretty cool car we built together, but I was more to use the stuff. I had a hard time to keep it shiny. I like to use it. So my friends was more into circle track racing on asphalt, and I started my path a little bit on that side. But when I saw a blown funny car close up when I was 20 years old, I was doomed. That was done. And from that day, I've been pretty poor. So it's been a fun ride, that's for sure.
That's
And
amazing. I've
we ain't
heard it. Go ahead. Sorry.
yeah. No, that's fine. So what
Yeah,
do you
set the
say?
hook. They set the hook early,
Yeah.
and
Oh yeah. And
so you just
I
started. gathering parts and, putting together your dream eventually?
Yeah, and I went to street cars after the first years because I needed kind of build my own name, and I was kind of trying to get sponsorship and things to help me out. So I actually bought my funny car the first funny car 93 or 94, but I realized that I needed to do something cheaper to start with, and we had a really bad recession in the economy in 91, 92. So I lost my business I had at the time, and I needed to bounce back. And I hooked up with another friend, and we made a tube chassis Volvo. We raced for a few years, and we actually went to Orlando in 1994 for something they called World Street Finals, where a
Hmm.
Swedish magazine sent 12 cars from Europe, and
Wow.
our car was one of the cars. So at the age 25 or something, I was already hooked that hard that we did a trip like that. It didn't turn out very good, but we didn't hurt ourselves, and we had a good time. But racing was not so good for us. But the Swedes overall did good in Orlando over a few years.
Mm-hmm. You guys are
The
super
Swedish,
tough.
yeah, the Swedish magazine actually sent cars over for 4 years or something and made what they call the World Street Finals, and most of those cars was street racing cars.
Hmm.
And, and at one of the races there, I decided I'm going to put everything on my own dime and try to do it for myself. And it took me 5 years to get in the funny car the first time. And we raced for 4 years. And then I left funny car for a little while, and I did other things, like I said, with the family and crewing for other people. But my goal was to be back in a funny car one day. But it takes some time, it takes some money to do it.
Right. Well, you did it. And I need to get
Yeah,
with you offline and make sure that we have every single year of your funny car racing and your pro street racing.
yeah,
We capture those guys too, although there's way more of them and they don't
yeah.
get as much press. So,
No, no, but it's yeah, it's been pretty wild ride. A lot of crazy stories if you sit down and have more time. I can tell you that.
well, we're going to ask you for
Mostly,
some of them.
yeah. Well, I don't like. We don't have any big screw ups on the track, but we have some pretty crazy story going back and forth. So
Well, let's
yeah,
hear one. You got one comes to mind?
yeah. Well, so we're heading for Santa Pod 2004, trying to do a European record, and when you get a little bit cocky and think you can do things, there will be a few things that turns shows up down the road. But we used a Scania 45 feet bus to transport everything back home, and the
Hmm.
bus is from 1966, so it's not really brand new. So we make everything ready and planning to have a good trip. We had a good trip, but we went south and driving through Germany, and we pull over at the truck stop, and the starter decided to fail.
Oh no.
So you have a 45-foot Scania with a manual diesel and 8 guys trying to push it to get it to fire again. And fortunate enough, we could make that. A lot of
Wow.
people was kind of wonder what the hell was going on, but we got it fired again and drove through the night. And I don't have any CDL, so we normally had my dad or a friend driving. But during the night, I was driving, and of course we got pulled over.
Oh no.
And the police in Belgium told us I can practice driving wherever I want, but not in their country. And we get we get to the station, the police station, and then they scale it, and they decided we are overweight, and they told us that 4 of the crew guys needed to find another way to go to Santa Pod.
Oh no.
So so I was kind of, well, Holland and Belgium is pretty close, so we can get a cab to the border and jump into the bus again. and kind of make it anyway. So we paid the fines, and we decided to get a plan to get a cab. And the cab shows up, and the cop put his head in the cab, and he said, the only place you can drop this off is on the train station. There is no
Hmm.
other way in this country you can drop those guys off. So
Hmm.
of course he took us to the train station. So four of us took the train to Calais and met up with the rest of the band there. And we're heading to the ferries. And like I said, we had a starter issue, so we didn't turn the bus off, waiting for the boat. And of course, the diesel pump decided to get so warm, so the diesel was boiling.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so it was a pretty rough ride, but that's the story with Circus Ljungberg. There is things that will happen,
Oh my
but
gosh. I want to see
we
that
made it
movie.
there. We sold the car. We sold the chassis at that race and went back home empty and made plans for another day. So
Well,
yeah, a lot of
it
crazy stories.
ends up with a win. Well, Joacim,
Yeah,
would you like to hear from some of our folks on the chat line and see what they have to say?
absolutely. I'm pretty
John,
sure Peter turned in.
I'm pretty confident. John, who's out there? What do they have to say, sir?
Well, we're here from coast to coast tonight, and everybody's having a great time listening to y'all. And Pete Mariello was the first to make a post, and he said, "Who is this guy?" And he said, "Hello from Los Angeles." And he said he won the Hot Rod Reunion in 7.0 Pro. Ask him how he brought the trophy home.
Let's hear it.
There is a pretty cool picture about that when it's laying on the floor in the trailer, all in pieces. Fortune for me, I was able to take it apart and put it back together.
Were you afraid that it wouldn't get through customs or
No, I was kind of afraid they're going to take the little guy away from me.
Well,
So
did you get a
no, it was
body
all
or
good. They
was it the
the customer seen some crazy stuff in my bags over the years. I can tell you that.
right?
So yeah,
well,
Well,
congratulations
that
on
was a good.
that Pro
Yeah.
7.0 win. That's amazing.
Well, we are not good. We're just luckier than the other guys. But we had a great time, and I if you asked me if there was one race I would ever think I could win, that would be the race. But to show up to a race where people don't know you or how good you are, they don't leave anything on the plate for themselves.
Hmm.
So most of the guy was running really, really good, but they were too quick or didn't leave in time. And that's one thing with me that most people will say back home. You don't leave anything on the plate for me because I will grab it.
Right. Good.
So so we went. I think we went a 706 to a 707 on the first pass, and I think that spooked the people around us. They thought we can do that over and over again.
Hmm.
So on the second pass, the other guy went 2 or 3 hundredths too quick. On the third pass, the driver was a day and a half late. On the fourth pass, he went too fast again, and in the final, the other guy screwed up staging. So
Wow.
no, I didn't do anything fantastic, but you leave the door open, and I will grab it
I
Right.
love it. Well,
as
you
soon
know
as I
what?
can.
Shirley Muldowney said, when it's your day to win, it's almost ridiculous how easy it is.
Yeah, yeah. So
Congratulations.
yeah, it was a fun weekend, and like I said, I would never ever think I would be able to do any damage in that class because those guys are so good. But like you said, it's when it's my day, it's my day. So
Well, you're in the
and
history
a lot
books.
of people was laughing about it because my car is quite a bit faster than 7.0. So we were putting the laundry out 1,000 feet and dragging on the brakes and running like 710, and 130 miles per hour and stuff.
Right.
So yeah, it was a different weekend.
A little bit of
But
sandbagging going on there.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
I love
But
it.
what can you do?
John,
A
what
lot of
else do we
fun.
got, sir?
Yeah.
Randy Johnston is here, and he said hi from cloudy Northern California. He said, this is a good guest. He said, get him some help on driving from race to race so he can sleep.
It would make a difference.
He also said he runs the same car, both altered and funny car. He said Harvey Williams does the same in the California Independent Funny Car Association. And then he runs a roadster body for 7.0 Pro,
Mm.
which is really cool that you do that,
Yeah,
man. That's
yeah,
that's amazing.
yeah.
And,
It's open up to do different classes. So that's pretty good.
right. And Ellen Lee is here, and she said hello, and she's ready for the reunion.
Yeah.
And
Well,
Olas, oh, go ahead, man.
like I said, we have been fortunate enough to have some guys and girls helping us out lately, and that makes a big difference for me because they do stuff that I don't really think about, or they take some of the plate away from me
Hmm.
to kind of concentrate. And I started to kind of thinking about scale it down last year because it is a lot of work and it takes a lot of time. But after having Tom and Ellen helping us out, and it kind of bounced back a little bit. It got more fun again, and I appreciate those guys a lot. I appreciate everybody that helps us. So don't get me wrong, but it makes a difference to have someone at the scene that know so much as Tom and Ellen do.
Right, exactly. Well, they appreciate you too. A guy named Olas Transport Ig Granum says hello,
Yeah,
Jockey. He
that's a
said,
friend back home that helped us last race too.
"Oh, that's
There
cool."
you go. Thank you for staying
Yeah,
up with us.
yeah, they are truck drivers. They never sleep.
He says, "Thank you for letting me experience the race so closely in March."
Yeah. Yeah, well, he paid his duty. He did a lot for us too, so and it goes both ways.
Right, it does. And Rob McCabe made a post, and he said, "I know Joacim ran the divisional at Pomona and Top Dragster. Hopefully, he'll run some more Top Dragster at the NHRA events."
Yeah, yeah, we will try to do that at the end of the year.
And he said he said I made his entry with a photo from Dave Commel.
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
Rob is our he's our chief research editor at Draglist. So he all
Okay,
the stuff that you see in there, I may do a couple of tweaks, but he's the primary person
okay,
putting them
yeah.
in. So I appreciate you, my friend.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it's great when Rob shows up because he's got all the great information on everybody that we have on the show, and he's really a cool guy.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, it's like it should be. You need a band to do it.
You
yeah,
bet. Yeah, we're very fortunate here.
you do.
Yeah.
John, any other questions or thoughts?
Well, Rich Panacaro is with us, and Dale and Lisa Broderick are with us, and we're all enjoying the show. They didn't have any questions, but I was just really impressed that you run a Chevy engine in that car. I think that's fantastic, man.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for you 100%.
Well, maybe you get sad now when I'm going to tell you we're going to change the combination completely to the next year.
Well, tell us about
So
that then. What, Yosim?
Oh yeah.
I am going to see if I can show you a picture on my phone. So
Okay.
I'm pretty I'm pretty good to make damage to myself. So I don't know if it's possible to see that.
If you hold it in front of you, it'll be easier. Yeah, we see it.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go. So what are we looking at? Is that a Brad motor?
Yeah. It's a screwed blown motor that's going to be shipped out this week from Sweden.
Wow.
So we're still going to run the Chevy for a little while, but we're going to step up for the Chaos race
Hmm.
and see if we can have some fun next year.
Sounds
It's
great. Well, there's four fields to go for, there.
it,
I like the chaos
yeah,
because wherever you fit is where you fit, and it's really a great
yeah.
series.
It's a really cool deal with the Chaos. In our case, when we go to like Tucson or we went to Denton a few years ago, the weather, also the corrected attitude on the weather is pretty bad, so we don't really have more in the Chevy. In this case, we can run this a little bit on the safe side, and we can step it up a little bit if we need to.
Right,
But with the Chevy, when the air gets too bad, we get a hard time to get it not shaking, and we don't have more power to give the clutch, so we have to adjust too much.
right.
Um,
Right,
so we're
running it
going to
right on
see
the
if,
edge.
yeah, yeah. So we're going to see if we can have some fun with that combination instead. I got that
Outstanding.
motor last year, but I haven't had enough money to bring it in one piece and ship it over. So it's in a crate right now and waiting to head out. So that
A
will show
different,
up. That will show up the 22nd of this month in the States. So I'm going to bring the block to Brad and do some work on it, and then try to get it back together.
nice. A different type of crate motor, but a
Yeah,
little more powerful.
absolutely. I haven't thought about that. Well, I can call it crate motor in the customs.
That's right.
I
My
am very
goodness.
fortunate to have a good shipping connection both in Sweden and in US. So hopefully it works out good.
That's great. Well, with people, it's interesting that, people seeing you and seeing you win this year, and we're no doubt congratulatory towards you, but not really realizing all the extra things you have to do in order to compete,
Yeah,
both from, with a small crew of volunteer help and to
yeah.
shipping your parts from overseas and with the extra expense that incurs. Shipping's
Yeah.
not cheap. I know that.
No, it wasn't too bad, but still, it's money we could raise for. But um, drag racing in Europe right now is kind of going downhill. So the big team buys new stuff,
Yeah.
but the stuff that has a few years on the neck is kind of hard to sell. So it's cheaper for me to buy that motor in Sweden than it is in the States.
Hmm.
So I paid a little bit more for the whole package than what you pay for the blower in the States.
Wow. That's amazing.
So yeah. So of course it needed a little bit of work and it needed to be serviced, but it was still a good deal. And I never thought I was going to own a screw blower when you look at the prices, but the guy gave me a good deal. He was very fair about it, and it worked out good. So we're
Well,
going to
that's
see
amazing.
what we can mess up with it.
Well, hopefully not any, but maybe don't run it so hard where you have to restrip it every run.
No, I really hope we can kind of run it around 9 grand, and I know the big guys running up to 11 grand. So I mean, can we keep it down a little bit and just hopefully enjoy it? I got a really good mentor when it comes to the fuel system and the parts from Randy Anderson. So
Hmm.
he is a big part of the decision to head this way.
Oh, that's terrific. Well,
Yeah,
Brad and then Randy, and it's a great family who knows their
yeah,
stuff and blown alcohol for sure.
yeah. And I think Randy thought it was pretty cool that I showed up with his old car too.
Yeah.
So
He was great.
I
We everybody knows about his dad, but a couple years there in the 90s and O's, Randy was very, very tough, before they went fuel
yes,
racing. But
yeah. So this car was brand new right before they got the deal to go the big show car. So he
mhm.
ran it at the last race at Pomona, 1996, the first race on a brand new car, and then they got the big show, so the big car deal, and he sold it. So he didn't really have any races in it, but it was still pretty cool to see him because first time I told him about it, he was kind of yeah, whatever.
Hmm.
But when we showed up with the car and showed him, it's starting light up and said, yeah, it is a good car. It's a lot of things in it, so it turned out good.
That's amazing. Well,
Yeah, I see I'm
let
running out of power. I need to find out why.
oh yeah, let's make sure that happens. And we'll got a couple more questions for you, but yeah, we want to get you before the lights go dark there.
Yeah.
Well, Pete Mariello just made a post and he said Joacim is a true racer. He machines and makes parts, tunes and drives the car and the truck and trailer. He said, I have a lot of respect for him.
Thank you, Pete. And we're learning a lot about our friend from overseas tonight. And you can see way back in the kitchen there. Is that your racing suit back there? And and way back
Oh,
in
yeah.
the
So
other.
yeah, and it's my corner for the business and racing in the house. So
Outstanding. So we got some more
I need
power.
to. Yeah, we got the power on. Now I need to get reminded sometimes why I'm working so hard. It's I've been fortunate enough to have my own business for many years, but it's still just at the moment it's just me. It's only two hands that brings the money to the table.
Wow.
I ran into some health issue 2018, and I scaled down the business to try to heal up a little bit, and then I decided to be myself only.
Well, I hope
Um,
it's all going well. You're definitely
yeah,
a
there is a
person.
few things that I will have to live with the rest of my life, but it's good enough to keep going.
Oh,
Um, could be worse.
oh, we're glad you're
So
here with us and keep on stay
yeah.
healthy and you're definitely happy. We know that.
Well, it's like I said so many times, it's been a fun journey and amazing what we have been able to do, and
Definitely.
and
Well, let's can
also
we
a
get some
living proof that you don't need the big money to be able to do it. You need a lot of guts and you need a lot of hard work, but you can do it. And I feel sorry for a lot of people thinking that it's so hard to do it, but you can still do it if you have the right opportunity. And
right.
if you get the chance, grab it. You never know when it's going to show up next time.
And I hear that
And
over and over again from our guests. And I was about to
yeah,
ask you what you could share with people about growth and improvement that can help racers at any level. And I think you're sharing some of that already, but
yeah. I will say, don't look at what your neighbor have. Look at what yourself have, and be happy with that to 90%, so you can still try to achieve more. But look what you have been able to do with your hands or with your knowledge, and dream a little bit, but be happy with what you're doing, because you can never compete to John Force.
right.
That's I mean, there is a few people in the world that can do that. So be happy with what you have, and try to grow from that. And I think I met a guy just a few weeks ago that went to the local racetrack, and he said, "Well, I don't have anything like this." No, but is that your goal, or are you happy to run with your car? And he actually kind of slowed down a little bit and said, "Well, I'm pretty happy where I am." Well,
Hmm.
fair enough. Keep going.
Hmm.
Don't try to beat John Force the first weekend, because you can't achieve that. And
Right.
in my case, I like I said, I shipped the car 2018, and during the winter between 18 and 19, I got serious health issue, and I needed to fuse one level of my disc in the neck, and I needed to clean up two another levels. And if I haven't shipped the car 18, I don't think we would ever do what we have done.
Hmm.
So if you find a window and you can achieve it, try to grab it right away, because you never know what life is going to throw you the next year or the year after.
No, that's great
Um,
advice.
yeah, I think that's what I will say. And like I said, never talk your own stuff down because your neighbor had more.
All right.
I
Well,
think
even
that's
John Force wasn't John Force at the beginning. We all know that.
no, he was playing quite a bit before he got the first win,
Mm-hmm.
and also, I mean, I had as John Force is one of my idol over and over the years, but today I'm exactly excited with reading about Terry Haddock or Scott Palmer
Right.
because they have achieved a lot of things, but on a different way. And I do think those guys have more fun many times
Mm-hmm.
because they can decide more about themselves. I think a lot of sponsors have decided about John Force Racing.
Right. Yeah.
So
You lose a little
that
bit
is,
when the business comes in. It's important, it brings the money,
yeah,
but it also brings responsibilities
yeah,
and
yeah,
limitations in some cases. But
yeah,
well,
absolutely.
Joachim, it's been amazing hanging out with you. A couple other questions, like do you have anybody you want to thank? I know we've already talked about Ellen and I think Tom was it the leads, but
Yeah, Tom
any other
Arthur. But
sponsors
yeah,
or crew members or anyone else?
yeah, of course there is always people. I have to say my family first because I would never do that without their support.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the better half has been with me for 33 years, so she have been taking some crap over the years. Some very bright ideas a few times. Um, there is a few guys that I will say thanks to. That's Christer, Bo, and Ola. Connie that helped me tremendous over the years, both in Europe and in the States. Um, Pete, of course, and Jim and James,
Mm-hmm.
the Chaos Band, bringing us in that group and enjoy it like we have done. Same with the Chaos deal. Um, Sponsors, I don't really have sponsors, but I would like to say thanks to the guys that storage the trailer and the car for us in Thousand Oaks, and it's an online car action sites or what you can call it. It's WOB cars, and they sell stuff online. And Rob and the band up there has been tremendous to us, and they are a big reason that we can keep being the fight because I'm home for 10 months a year, and I need to know that my stuff is still there when I show up.
Right.
And I could never done it without them. And then I have two shipping companies, one in Florida that is Get Logistic, and we have a Goat Logistic back home that is dealing with the crate at the moment, and they help me ship the cars too, and they did a lot for free for us to be able to do this. Amazing group. Um, I have a tremendous support in Torrance and Gardena in the Los Angeles area. So everybody that listens around or will see this, that they know they are in that area. I'm I can't appreciate enough what those guys have done. It's too many names to say because I'm afraid I'm going to lose one. But if you
Yeah,
met us and you helped us, thank you very much. I will never forget it.
they're
Um,
amazing. Yeah,
you can't
Torrance
do
and
this
Gardenia
yourself.
for sure.
Yeah, and but just meet people that QMP Racing. I have never dealt with those guys, and I got them recommend. I showed up with a head, and I kind of plead with those guys. We only have a week. We travel from Europe to go racing in the States. What can you guys do? And they told me right away, you're going to have your head on Tuesday, and it's going to be a done deal, and don't think about it. And we
Wow.
got the head, and and to be able to just meet people that support us like that, someone they never seen before, or go into Ennis missing crew guys and go online and asking for people and and Mike and Andy showed up and helped us during the weekend, and they are friends for life. So many, I have so many to say thanks to, and like I said, if you met me and you did something for me, I appreciate it.
It's
It's
amazing. And I
been
think
a
we have
crazy
another
ride.
comment, don't we, John, from someone out there? Did you have another?
Yeah, since we got back into the discussion, there's been some very meaningful comments made. Olus said, "We don't want to see any drifting in October as the last Famoso." And
Well, kind of got carried away in one of the burnouts. So yeah, I will try to do to keep that out next time.
It's a
Uh,
altered. You can do that, and
yeah,
that's part of the
yeah,
deal. And the cones.
yeah. But it's also, I mean, for that guy, he's never been at a racing before, and to see some maniac like me close up, I think that caught. I think it took him on guard a little bit. But yeah, I got a phone call from home, and I got a little lady from Bakersfield, and kind of tell me, don't do that again. But like you said, it's a short wheelbase with a screwed up driver.
And a
So
big old blown Chevy at 490 plus inches. That's important.
yeah. But
John, did you
fun
say there's
times.
another comment?
yeah, Randy Johnston said, as I always say, straight ahead, don't look back. Those are gators
No,
snapping at you.
yeah,
Yeah.
you never know.
And
Well,
Pete came in and he said, we all start with nothing and zero knowledge. How much passion and willing to learn and work is what makes you achieve your dreams.
yes, that's for sure.
I need to frame that and hang it on the wall.
Well, we have another saying. So you're starting your business with two empty hands, and 5 years later on, you still have two empty hands, but a bad bank account.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Oh,
Joacim, where can
no,
people follow along with your racing activities both in Europe and here in the States? Do you still do a little racing over there on occasion?
no, I do fill in as a crew guy here and there. Of course, some of my friends is still racing back home. So a friend of mine is going to do Dragon Drive. So we have been playing with that a little bit, and then later on this year, I'm going to be a little bit consulting on a blown top sportsman car back home, a guy from Germany. So I have some stuff to do back home, but I need to work to be able to do this. So
Right.
my spare time is very limited,
Got it.
and
Racing in the
I
States
have
and
a
working.
I have a dad I need to help out, and a little bit time to the family and the grandkids is good
Right.
too. So, but I've tried to go to the local track and some of the big races. Um, yeah,
That's awesome.
like I
Well,
said,
I'm sure if you go, you're going to get lots of accolades from people who followed you along on that 7.0 win, which was
yeah,
so
I would
impressive.
say it's both because when you do something that a little bit extreme, some of the guys tells you straight up it's fantastic and everything is good, and other people kind of thinks you're a little bit over everybody else. So there is two sides of the sword. So, but most of the guys is they think it's pretty cool, and it's not many people outside US that had made more than 20 races in the state.
Right. Right. That's
So
true. Yeah,
that's true. So I mean,
congratulations on that. Well, as
yeah.
we wrap up, what are your final thoughts for the fans or anything you want to leave for folks? And right, can't wait to see you next. And hopefully we'll get the chance to meet out there in Bakersfield.
Yeah, that would be pretty fun. And you're running out of people to talk bullshit. I'm still around, so
You got it.
but
Well, we'll
I
hit
don't
you
really
back
know.
up.
Yeah, who knows? It's overall, it's just been a lot of fun, and to be able to get from the outside into US and do what we're doing with the support we have been able to get is just fantastic. We had a lot of fun. So a lot of people show up and said hi and like to see what's going on. And
Well, we're
so yeah, I
looking
don't
forward
really
to
know.
meeting
I
you in
think
person, sir.
yeah, that would be fun. Absolutely. And no, I think everything is kind of set for now. I forgot to some stupid thing about Pete, but I will bring that up later on.
we can chat online about it. Hey, there's lots more Monday nights, or we can set, maybe we'll set up a special time where you're not up in the middle of the night talking to us, and we won't do it
Yeah,
live. We'll just do a nice recording. So
yeah.
what a pleasure to
I
meet you.
it, yeah, the same thing. It was fun, and like I said, I didn't really know what I'm signed up to because I have seen some of your shows, but I'm not that good to. I mean, I don't think my story is that special, so it's a little bit hard. But
I
an
think,
hour went by, and we had some stuff to talk to. So
yeah, it always does. It's like bench racing
yeah,
back in the pits. We have a great time.
yeah,
And you
yes,
do have a
absolutely.
very impressive story. I mean, probably very unique. And I really a pleasure to have you share it with everybody, and a pleasure to learn more about you. And wishing you the best of luck as when you come back and throughout the summer here, and hopefully see
Yeah,
you in the fall.
yeah. So I'm going to be in for 12 days to take care of the shipping crate and starting to service the car for the end of the year, and hopefully make 4 races in the end of the year. So I will be in the States for a little while.
Sounds great.
So
Well, look for him,
so
folks. Ladies and gentlemen, Joacim Ljungberg, all the way from Sweden. Thank you for staying up and talk with us, sir. Really a pleasure meeting you, and looking
yeah,
forward to meeting you in person. Have an awesome evening. Get some sleep and get up and start earning
yeah,
money for that drag car.
yeah. There's 2 hours left. Time to go to work.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Well,
I appreciate it. Thanks a lot for taking the time.
thanks a
You
lot.
have a
All,
very good evening.
all the best. You do the
Thank you.
same. All right,
Thank
let's
you.
say farewell to Joacim, who was so amazing. And oh my gosh, he was unbelievable. John, wow. Talk about doing it all yourself with a little help, but getting it done.
That was
Let's
a great interview, especially it's 2 in the morning where he is. It's almost 3 o'clock in the
now
morning.
three. Yeah, woo. All right, well,
Unbelievable. What a
let's
guy.
turn it over to JB for this week's JB's Take and a very special racer of the week. John, take it away, sir.
Thanks, BP. My pick for Racer of the Week is Don Phillips from Sydney, Nova Scotia. We've been friends with Don for more than a decade, and he is one of the top racers in the Maritime region. I'm proud to feature him tonight. Don started racing in the 70s. In the late 70s, he worked as a tech inspector. He stepped away from the sport in 1980, and in 1989 got involved again when he joined the Cape Breton Drag Racing Association. In 2001, he started MaritimeDragRacing.com and the Maritime Drag Racers message board, as well as doing tech inspections at Cape Breton Dragway. In 2009, he started racing again, winning a points championship in 2017. And since then, he's had multiple second and third place finishes and gambler race wins, most recently in 2023, driving a Super Pro. I became friends with Don on the Draglist.com forum in the early 2000s. He was one of the most interesting and creative people I've ever met. And he had a way of communicating that I and others understood, as he would bring his topics down to earth and they all made sense to us. He's a truly great human being. In 2008, I was tasked with creating a website for the Pee Wee Bowen Band. We were playing around 135 gigs a year at that time, and we needed an online presence. I mentioned it on the Draglist forum, and Don sent me a message, and he said that he could host our site on his maritime drag racing domain, and he offered it for free. With Don's expertise and knowledge of site building and adding content, I said, of course, that sounds great. But I made sure that we sent money to him on a regular basis, and he used the money to put parts into his hot rod. I could have asked, I could not have asked for a more professional and efficient website guy. Don kept our online schedule up to the minute every single time I'd send something to him. I made a Facebook post a couple of weeks ago showing around 1,000 graphics that I made for Pee Wee's band from 2008 to 2023. It was advertising our upcoming gigs. Don posted every single one of them the minute I sent them to him. And for 15 years, he kept us 100% perfect online. When Pee Wee passed away in 2023, I was told to take the website down. Don took care of it. He was an excellent partner. Thank you, Don. Don is a laureate in the Maritime Motorsports Hall of Fame. He was inducted for his tireless efforts with his awesome website and his involvement in the drag strip's maintenance, as well as being a series champion. He did several jobs to keep drag racing alive and well in the Maritime region. Don Phillips, I have treasured your friendship. It's been a pleasure to work with you online. Thank you for everything you've done for us, and I'm thinking of you now. Back to you, BP.
Thank you. Thank you, John. Appreciate that. He was a great, great man. Is a great, great man, pardon me. And it had going back in the days, right? When you were talking about your history with Draglist last week, I'd totally forgotten about Don and his website, the Maritime Drag Racing. There's so many pieces and parts that we've shared over the years. Pretty amazing.
That's true. It's still there, and it's a great website. As far as the Maritime region goes, he's got absolutely everything covered 100%, and he's always been that way.
Pretty awesome. Well, great to have one of our old friends on his race for the week. Well deserved.
Yeah.
Let's go on and do our segments here. Events and more. So Miss Kay Turkelson and I had a great time at the HPX 2026 Automotive Trade Show in Charlotte, North Carolina last week. Kind of made a last minute decision to go, and I think on Thursday, the week before, and then we went and had an amazing time. So we met lots of great video guests for the future. We made great connections. We saw drag racing live guests Ida Zetterstrom, Maddie Gordon, and Destiny Spurlock the moment we got there. And so got some great videos and some great photos. I hope that you've seen some of those live videos up on the drag racing list page that Kay put up live, but we'll repurpose those here on YouTube as well. It made some really great business connections, and we even saw the NASCAR Hall of Fame, which is right next door to the Charlotte Expo Center. So it was really great meeting Miss Kay in person and some of her friends as well. It was great. So looking forward to connecting with all those folks. And if you get a chance, go check out our Drag List YouTube, or I'm sorry, our Drag Racing List Facebook page for some of those live videos, and lots more to come. I have a ton of photos I haven't posted yet, and I know that Kay immediately went to the Rat Fink reunion as soon as she got back. She was there all weekend supporting that effort, so she's just getting back and kind of catching up today as well. And so looking forward to seeing a lot more from Miss Kay from Charlotte and from the Rat Fink reunion this past weekend. Drag Racing Live YouTube channel. We're over about 156,000 views already. We having a great time. We do want to welcome our two new social media apprentices, Jeffrey Cormier and Uriel Yamashiro, who just today started reposting all of our old shows where we didn't put the full live link to the main show. He's putting those up on X today, and we'll start popping those up on Facebook as well. So Jeffrey is going to be building out the new shorts that we do after every video. By the way, he did, because I was in North Carolina. Typically, that's something that I do is do the final edit on the shorts. Last week, Jeffrey did all of them that you're seeing for Mendy Fry, and he did an amazing job. So guess what? That's your job now, bud. And Uriel Yamashiro, again, making sure that we can all see the full video when we put our shorts up. He is going to YouTube and X and elsewhere, and Facebook, of course, and Instagram, and he might even talk me into getting a TikTok channel. We were talking about that today. But making sure that people can find the full show when they see our really cool little shorts, the reels that we're doing. Let's talk about upcoming guests. Lots of good ones coming up. Next Monday night, we're going to talk to Elon Werner, the PR guru and the drag racing bracket bonanza guy. I saw Elon down at Maryland International Raceway 2 weeks ago. me and Nitro Joe Morrison were driving around on a golf cart, and because they wanted to go see a round of a top alcohol qualifying, which was super fun. And we ran into Elon there and caught up with him. So he was supposed to be on a couple of weeks ago, but got delayed by a flight. And so we're going to capture him, and we got him locked in. And next Monday night, we'll see him. On the 22nd of June, we're going to see Steve King of Pilot Racing, Pro Mod Champ, and he also does the Boost and Bullshit podcast with Jason Harris. So that's going to be fun talking to Steve. And on the 29th of June, Jeff Fatamian, the legendary driver of the Beast jet car out on the West Coast. On July 6th, Jim Danko, the blown altered driver, is going to be joining us. On the 13th of July, David Kennedy from the National Hot Rod Association. Looking forward to talking to David and kind of getting a status on how the season's going and what the plans are for the NHRA going forward. On July 20th, our friend Eiley Stafford comes back. She's out there doing a great job of running a Nitro funny car this year, Nostalgia funny car. Last time we chatted with her, she was in I think a blown dragster along with hubby. But now we're going to have Eiley coming on the 20th. And then 3 weekends without a show. We're going to put some cool stuff up for you to see. But 27th, the 3rd, and the 10th, my bride and I will be heading over to Europe. Maybe we'll go stop and see some of our drag racing friends there. But anyway, and then we'll be back on the 17th of August, and it will go on through September. We don't have those shows locked in yet, but Miss K met a whole bunch of people, and she's starting to work on it. Let's go on to Lost Friends. A massive, massive announcement. In this case, on the 28th of May, we lost the great Joe Rudka. I'm sorry, May 24th, pardon me. Mr. Gasket Company, this is the guy, right? The Joe Rudka from Cleveland, Ohio. We knew, I'm a Cleveland kid myself. We always knew who Mr. Gasket was, and the Rudka family with gassers. And his mentor and inspiration was Chris the Greek Carabasinis. And Joe Rudka and the Rudka brothers are just a big, big, big part of this sport. And we wish the family our best. And I saw Joe Rudka at Indy in the airport once, and the U.S. Nationals had just finished, and I was flying back the next day to the D.C. area, and I was in one line, and he was in another line. We were both going up to the counter, and he looked over and saw me, and saw me wearing my like racing gear, and I didn't know Mr. Rudka at the time, but and he kind of saw that, and I saw the recognition of a drag fan, but I walked up and thanked him because he had just started sponsoring Top Fuel. This is sometime in the 1980s, and believe it or not, there was a time when Top Fuel was really not doing well, and the funny cars were kind of being put into the forefront. And the Joe Rudka stepped up with a bunch of money in a special program to get the Top Fuels made more prominent again, and it was really great. So I did have that one moment in the Indianapolis airport to thank him for everything he did. And of course, I knew his daughter Tracy, um, and and the rest of the family just terrific. So our condolences to Joe Rudka, one of the true legends of our sport, passing away on the 24th. On the 2nd of June, we lost Bill Maddox. Bill raced a really awesome drag pack Challenger, which was just looked like a showpiece. But farewell to Bill. On the 5th of June. This is a tragic story. Right here, very near where I live, Elkton, Maryland, a racer named Thomas Logue actually had a horrific nitrous explosion. Nitrous bottle exploded in his garage, in his home. He was only 33 years old. They're still trying to figure out what happened with the nitrous bottle, what caused that to happen. It's a possibility, but it's something that we really haven't heard about for a number of years since the early Pro Mod days. It's almost like second nature that they're going to work fine, but for some reason this happened, and tragically Thomas passed away. His wife also was injured, but is expected to pull through. So farewell to Thomas Logue, a tragic occurrence here in Maryland. So with that, our condolences to the family and friends of these great racers, and And thanks for the thrills over the years, guys. But it's always a tough, sad duty to share those names. With that, I'm going to turn it over to John Bachman for his final thoughts. John?
Well, this was a wonderful interview tonight, and watching him was just awesome, man. He had some great stories, and I know he has a great future in our sport. And I'm really behind him 100% in his engine combination. I thought that was
Mm-hmm.
fantastic that he's doing that. And not just that, but he went out there and he won Bakersfield in
Yeah,
7.0 Pro, man. It don't get any better than that. That was
that
just
is
fantastic.
that
So
was amazing. That's gonna be a reel right there, talking about how you beat like all these guys that, who do this so well. But he was tough. I think he undersells how tough he is, but he got it done, and
he is
self-tuning and
tough.
self-driving, and oh my gosh, he's
He
amazing.
knows everything, and and he obviously sees it as his mission in life, which is essential. That's extremely important. God knows what he's doing, and he's doing it great.
Hmm.
And man, I was just really happy to meet him and have him on the show tonight. And I'm looking forward to next week as well.
Yeah, thank you, John. Appreciate everything you do, sir, and really enjoyed. And folks, if you haven't seen John's JB's take from last week, we made a special version of that and put that out on our YouTube channel here. It's about 4.5 minutes, but really a great recap of all of John's contributions over the years and his experiences here with us. And a pleasure to know you, sir, and glad you were able to put that together. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. I can't tell you how much I appreciated you doing that. I saved it, and I'm gonna keep it.
It's
After
awesome.
25 more years, I'll make another one.
That's right. We'll do another one. It goes so fast. Oh my gosh.
It sure does.
Well, let's do our final wrap. We want to thank Joacim Ljungberg, who was amazing, and John Bockelman, Kate Turkelson, who I was able to meet in person last week. We had such a good time. Sophia Roveda, Jeffrey Cormier, Uriel Yamashiro, our friend Pete Moriello, who got us together with Mr. Ljungberg and had offered some great comments tonight. Rob McCabe, of course, David Oakes, Mel Bashore, Ron Toombs, John Mernon II, Dave Weslowski, and Jeff Gilder. By the way, I want to welcome Bill Kloss to the team. Bill has started taking photos and sending them our way, and there's a couple of great photo reviews up on the front page from David Oakes and from Bill Kloss from recent racing events, so check those out. So special shout out to Nitro Alley, who is out there with Kay at the Rat Fink reunion, and always has kind things to say about her. Plus, she's got some Hot Wheels that are special category for her, which are cool. And of course, thanks in heaven to the big man Danny White. Appreciate all you did over the years, my friend. Please like and share and subscribe and comment down below if there's something that we can do different or something you'd like us to see. You can check out draglist.com every single day to see what's new. As I said, lots of great new photos up there by Bill Kloss and David Oakes. And you can find us on the Radio Bob Network, which showcases our shows. Thank you, Bob. And finally, next Monday on the 15th, Elon Werner, the PR guru, and the drag racing bracket bonanza guys. I think there's a lot of people getting their brackets busted. We'll find out how that whole thing works and maybe how you can take part in it. I'd love to hear from folks who played that. I don't, but it looks like it's really interesting. So with that, I'm going to click the magic button here and say farewell. Have an awesome week, and we'll catch